Number 5. The Possession. Back in May, earlier this year, the YouTuber Proving Demons set out on a mission to prove something sinister. Proving Demons explains that the house they're breaking into appears to be the site of a pretty severe and demonic exorcism. The previous owner, having been apparently possessed, and now resides in a mental institution, that same demon that still resides in the same abandoned place. After going outside and entering the abandoned building via a crawl hole, their encounter with this dark entity got that much more worse. Having looked somewhat recently lived in, the entire shed looks like a weird, odd display of art, with paper lanterns and other sorts of bizarre, colorful decoration. Supposedly, the energy at first impression wasn't dark, but much more inviting, while the so-abandoned shed seems to be fitted with all other sorts of odd decorations and things. They can't help but shake the feeling they're not entirely alone. Upon further exploration, the crew just can't shake the feeling of being overwhelmed by evil and wanting to do harm to oneself. The demon is wanting to take hold. That's right when they hear a scream that sounds like a woman screaming from the other room. That's right when one of the crew mentions that they haven't even checked if they are truly alone in this place. Judging from the things and the way things have been moved around, the shed doesn't necessarily appear abandoned. Upon further investigation and exploration of the shed, they find a bed with recently worn sheets and a backpack and clothes being hung up. Obviously, someone might be staying here, but no one at the moment. They can also hear other bizarre noises, like what they can only describe as animals on the roof, and other noises coming from outside. They're not really sure or able to discern who or what is making them. Upon using an EVP to ask if there is anybody else in the shed with them, they get a response back, an immediate yes. Also, the crew hears the word demon uttered. The demon has such powerful authority, it demands they leave immediately, and that they have no right to be there. Andrew began shaking uncontrollably, saying he could feel it more intensely. However, the most terrifying find of this entire expedition is the Polaroids they found. We're not sure if there is some sort of demonic ritual going on, or some sort of exorcism. Either way, something is clear, that evil lives here. Number 4. The Dark Tunnel. There are some videos just like this one that already appear to be deeply disturbing and terrifying. I mean, it's a tunnel. How could it not be terrifying? Reportedly, the boy in the video apparently hears a woman scream deep in the tunnel and goes in to investigate. The boy traverses the dark tunnel for quite some time. In fact, we're not entirely too sure how long he's in here for. At some point, he stops because he hears a very bizarre alien-like sound. He hesitates at the sound, but, driven by his curiosity, ascends further into the tunnel, where he calls out hello to the approaching footsteps he hears coming towards him. What was that? I'm sure him and you are all thinking the same thing. He turns around and bolts for his life, just making it at the last minute, before hearing a final screech as he exits the tunnel. Something was living in that storm drain, and none of us are sure exactly what. But he did catch it on video, and while there is a lot of widely accepted speculation on what it is he exactly saw, no one is exactly sure. Some suspect it's the rake, while others merely say it was just a wild hog. But if you look at the video, that doesn't look like a wild hog to me. It appears to be humanoid and pale in color, and also there's light reflecting from its eyes. One thing's for sure, there is something in this storm drain. If you enjoy these videos, Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more amazing top list videos. Number 3. Stalkers. This urban exploration gone wrong takes us to your cliché, a dilapidated, beat-down, old and abandoned mental hospital. I mean, come on, what could go wrong? Streamed on Facebook Live, this exploration takes us through the Medford State Hospital. I want you to understand just how truly this entire location is. A 58-building complex, and being able to hold around 2,200 patients at any given time. A very terrifying fact about this entire asylum is there is supposedly around 841 unmarked graves, people with no name or date of death, just a number, which leads into further speculation on this next segment. Do you think that these two were visited by one of the people that had passed in this asylum? Just watch. Not realizing it at the time of filming, they weren't alone, and someone or something else was there with them. Could it have very well been one of the patients that had died at this asylum long ago? Or was it something far more evil? At the time, they were too busy trying to decide how to get to the 3rd floor, and didn't quite catch it immediately. Terrifying, to say the least. The sheer authenticity of this Facebook stream make it to be one of the most harrowing and terrifying paranormal encounters caught on camera to have been released on the internet. Let us know what you think. We are absolutely terrified. Number 2. The Haunted Attic. Okay, so attics and basements are hands down the creepiest parts of any house. But what happens when you start hearing strange, unknown noises in your attic? Well, it could possibly be only 3 things: an animal, a squatter, or a ghost. That's the same question that YouTuber Chris Court was faced with when he uploaded this video on October of 2015, stating that he was hearing strange noises from his apartment building's attic and decided to put a camera in, when suddenly the chair moves on its own in a haunting fashion, seeming to show us that he has a ghostly visitor. Not too much long later, we see the old rocking horse begin to move, as if something else more sinister is making it happen. All in all, either this is some elaborately filmed prank, or this is a legitimate haunting on camera. Number 1. Goldfield Hotel. The infamous Goldfield Hotel. A pretty much guaranteed location to visit if you're a paranormal investigator or ghost hunter alike. Filled with a horrendous, violent past of crimes unspeakable, this is the perfect hotspot for any would-be paranormal activity. This small paranormal group, led by KTVN Channel 2 News, is on the search for something more visceral and real, equipped with everything they would need to find the truth in the afterlife. Using EVPs, they sought to find answers through communication, and something terrifying took place. Apparently, on the 4th floor, while passing a stairwell, they reported that they could feel something rush at them. They also talked about footsteps approaching from behind and in front. Quite terrifying, to say the least. However, unlike the previous item in our list that happens in the attic, the worst of this happens down in the basement. After doing an EVP session, they demand that they want to know that they're not alone, and so a brick is thrown. And that's not all. They even managed to capture 2 terrifying recordings of this poltergeist. The first, it's supposedly saying, "Thank you, but we've done it. You listen and you tell me." And another voice captured, clearly saying, "I didn't mean to hurt anybody." Check it out.
Didn't mean to hurt anything. Didn't mean to hurt anything.
So, what do you think about all this? Could the Goldfield Hotel truly be haunted? That about wraps up today's top 5 list. Which video in this list was the scariest? Be sure to let us know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment for more amazing top list videos.